Gotcha.
The freight world, unfiltered coffee running strong. Oil field carrier keeps the wheels rolling on. Fraud expert spots the scam before it lands. Sarcastic broker with the comeback and a plan. 3 views, 3 personalities, no filter, no fake. Smart, fast, honest.
Do you even freight?
Do you even freight?
Good morning and welcome to Do You Even Freight? I'm Shimmy and I've got John and Kevin with me, and somehow you people came back for episode 4. So either we're doing something right or y'all have questionable judgment. Either way, welcome back.
Don't get me freaking started. It's Monday.
Morning,
I am still all bleary-eyed from the weekend. I need more coffee.
I haven't had any coffee.
Cheers.
Oh, am I freezing?
Jimmy, you are on the West Coast. How in God's name have you not downed a pot of coffee by this time?
Well, because you guys forced me to get up at a god-awful hour and I don't have time to do anything but the bare minimum, to be honest. John, thank you so much.
Hey. No one held a gun to your head. Well, hold on a sec. Did Mother hold a gun to your head to do this? Did Mother hold a gun to your head?
I cannot answer that question. Okay, I'm gonna need some help real quick. No, gosh, this here. I want to make sure that we're not having some. There we go. You know what? Deal with it.
Screw it.
Deal with it. It's Monday. It's
a shadow thing. We'll work on that. Yeah, it's Monday. Monday life problems, folks. This is what happens.
But I made it. I'm here. I'm sorry I wasn't here on Friday. I'm sorry. I heard you guys did all right without me.
What was the CB handle we ended up giving Shimmy? Do you remember?
Oh God,
Kevin?
You did that.
Shaking Shimmy.
I don't even like that. You guys get. This is why you need me. You can't even come up with good shit.
Hey, this came off of LinkedIn, so you know.
Shimmy Shakes. That sounds like a stripper name.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Because I'm correct. Well, did anybody do anything fun over the weekend?
I got home from traveling, so no, I spent my weekend on the sofa and running errands. And oh yeah, my refrigerator and freezer went out last night, so I spent most of last night pulling everything out of my freezer and refrigerator, throwing into coolers. So I'm waiting for my landlord now.
Were they running and you had to go catch them?
You better believe it. And I'm a big guy. It's not easy for me to catch a running refrigerator.
Good morning, Amy.
Always good to see Amy.
What'd you do, Kevin? Anything fun, or was it just with the kids?
Catching up on stuff that needs to be done when you've got cows. So, watering, checking, all that fun stuff. Fences are all good. I hadn't had to build fence in a couple of years, so I'll take that.
Do the kids help you?
What about taking the kids fishing? No, I'm over building fence. I've built way too much.
Especially in August in Texas.
Exactly. Well, I was going to take the kids fishing, and they decided it was too hot. They said, "Dad, can we go fishing some other time when it's not so flipping hot outside?" My wife
and I talked about going to the beach, but even that was too freaking hot, and she wasn't feeling that great.
Last night at 7:00, it was still 101 degrees. So,
okay, you
dang,
win.
I can't do. I could not.
Yeah, it's August in Texas. It was hot last August. It's hot this August. Newsflash: it's probably going to be hot next August.
When I complain about heat here, it's like 80s. Oregon we're not built the same.
What was it? It was a year ago. I was up. We were unloading Port of Seattle. Actually, direct discharge. And I think that's when y'all were you're going through y'all's heat wave up there. And golly, I mean, it was 101, 102 degrees up there in Washington and in Oregon coming back through. We got real lucky. Our permits let us run 24-hour continuous movement. And so we were trucking at night. we were going at night.
we usually get a heat wave like once or twice a summer for, like 3 days to 5, maybe 7 days where it's like just super hot, but we don't stay hot like that through the summer. And humidity, the way that you guys experience humidity is there's no way. We don't have that like that.
It's actually been cooler this summer in Texas than it has been in about the past 5 years. The problem for us right now is the humidity. It's been so much higher all year that it feels a lot hotter than it actually has been. But nothing to it but to do it. We don't have a choice. There's still stuff got to be moved. So here we go. We just
I live in the Southeast. Humidity's always at 2,000%. You just expect to walk outside and feel like you just got out of the shower.
No, thank you. Hard pass. Well, let's talk about some fun things because that is not fun. Okay, that sounds disgusting.
Yes, picturing me in the shower is probably disgusting.
I could have done without that mental image on a Monday morning. All right. Anyway, Shimmy, back to you.
Oh, man. Well, today we've got a serious developing story out of Kentucky. Hawaii is trying to recover after the tropical storm Lala, and Kevin's got weather making freight miserable across the Midwest and Ohio. John has the latest regulatory drama, including TQL. Then we're getting into something every single person in this industry understands: stress. Yes. So more specifically, what brokers, carriers, and shippers are actually dealing with behind the scenes and why communication gets progressively shittier the more stressful the situation becomes. Let's see here.
For the record, that was 6 minutes before she cussed. Thank you.
I don't think so. I think you probably missed it. So we don't have a swear jar in place yet. Thank you so much. So let's see what Fresh Hell Transportation gave us over the weekend. All right, we have the actually it sounds like Mother said Hawaii is fixing itself. Hawaii had major impacts, flooding, infrastructure damage, power outages, but it sounds like we're on the mend. Let's see here, and then another one.
It was interesting.
Go ahead.
With the deal in Hawaii, Hawaii's tropical to subtropical. They were getting snow from the hurricane.
What the frick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you start going up the volcanoes, you're increasing in elevation, so they're getting 80 and 90 mile an hour wind with snow.
Okay.
Are you yanking my chain? Are you joshing me?
I'm serious as a heart attack. I'm serious as a heart attack. Go Google it. Go look it up. I got a kick out of that.
Okay, Air National Guard, can we, the hurricane hunters, can we please get confirmation of that
one?
All right, and then a real fun one. We have that tow truck driver is still being sought. He is on the run. So Kentucky State Police are searching for Luis Gonzalez Perez. He's 34, out of Louisville. According to the preliminary investigation, Perez was operating a wrecker connected to a bobtail semi and allegedly attempted to make a U-turn across all 3 northbound lanes. The tow truck was then struck by a vehicle driven by 43-year-old Sean Franklin out of North Carolina. He later died from his injuries. Perez was not injured, but he did leave the scene before officers arrived. As of the latest update, at least publicly, they're still actively searching for him. So charges are pending and the crash remains under investigation. Sounds pretty shitty.
So I'm going to assume, since he was connected to a bobtail semi-tractor, that he was operating a fairly large wrecker.
I wish that we had video for this, but
I'm going to assume, given that he probably had a CDL.
We hope.
Should have.
I have no idea.
I'm going to go here. I'm sorry, but one of the first things that pops into my head, especially working down here in Texas, is Luis Gonzalez Perez.
I cannot do that with. I can't do that with my tongue. Luis Gonzalez. What was the other? Perez. I can't do the No, that's not a thing.
You don't have to do the rolling R on that. It's not a double R.
Parrot.
You only have to do the rolling thing.
Anywho, so next, I can't do that. It doesn't work. But who the hell attempts a U-turn across 3 fucking lanes?
Well, it's reminiscent of the accident that took place in Florida last year.
That's where I was going.
You know, that wiped out that entire family in the minivan. I mean, these issues, I guarantee we're going to find out this guy's got an illegal CDL or something along those lines, or he's here illegally, or something of that nature is going to blow this up in the public eye like there's no tomorrow again.
Probably because, okay, you make the decision to do this stupid maneuver, but then you also make the decision to leave the scene. That's a choice. That's a choice you only make if there's certain consequences, probably. You're not wrong, I'm sure. Dang, it's like you're a detective-ish, kind of, sort of.
I don't know.
Well,
oh, heavy on the ish.
ish. And he doesn't give legal advice.
No, never.
No.
At least not publicly.
Well, Hawaii isn't the... Oh, yes. There's
There we go.
That's our disclaimer.
That got us.
John is a detective as much as I am a detective, and I am a woman, so let's just say I'm a very good detective.
Oh,
well,
boy.
Hawaii isn't the only place Mother Nature has chosen violence this morning. Kevin, where are we not sending trucks today, and why not?
I mean, you're welcome to send them through Central Indiana. Just be advised. Make sure they're equipped with pontoons, flotation devices, and a propeller. Preferably outboard, inboard, outboard.
He's choking,
works.
not laughing.
I know.
I'm
Water,
still
John.
recovering from COVID,
Water.
folks. I'm still recovering from COVID.
I thought I was funny. Apparently not. So anyway, there's been a string of storms. Yeah, there've been a string of storms.
Thank you.
Third time's a charm. There's been a string of storms running across the Midwest, central United States, really affecting the Ohio River Valley. There are parts of Indiana where you can see the cab of a truck through the water. That's about it. Got some friends that sent some pictures out on Facebook and Instagram stuff, and they're talking about, hey, I took that road yesterday to take the kids to school. It's a river now, so you're not going there. Be recognizant of the weather out there. There's more storms potentially coming. There's more on the way, which is going to make a bad situation worse. I think last count yesterday, there were already 7 that they'd confirmed dead through this. So as you send your truck, your pickups, and or whatever else you may have going through the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, in that area, be aware of what the roads are looking like and understand that you may have some delays. This could cause a freight exception.
Ooh. You're out of the flow, Kevin, though. So that was a great transition. I'm going to applaud you for that. That was really great.
But you're about 30 minutes too early.
We'll come back to that. But I do not like gong sounds,
we'll get there.
Mother. Do not like the gong sounds. That's traumatizing. Anywho.
Was that what that was?
I think so, and I did not like it.
Okay. Well,
because it reminds me of those 3-letter brokers. Also, what reminds me of those 3-letter brokers is like, how many of those brokers do you think are like, hey, can you still make it through? Like how many are pushing those drivers to get through those floodwaters,
Not like that has a 9-figure impact on an accident if that were to happen. I mean, you just ask CHR.
All right. Well, Mother Nature has done enough to freight. John, tell us what the regulatory. I did that word all one time. Ready? Regulatory. God, I'm so good. World is doing to raise everyone's blood pressure. I can't do the
She's been reading her dictionary.
Ones, so
Well,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if this is exactly raising
Regulatory.
blood pressure very much. I hope it does, at least against some of the three-letter brokers that we've talked about before out there. But it does hit on a very interesting topic. Many of us know what 49 CFR 371.3 Charlie is.
We
That is
definitely
known
all
as
have that memorized. All of us. We
is the
so have that
broker
memorized.
transparency law. Okay, it is the law that requires a broker to disclose all of their information, the information they're required to store under the main regulation 371.3 to any interested party of the transaction. That would be carriers and shippers. And they famously don't like to hand over the information. In fact, there are some, including three-letter brokers, who in their broker carrier agreement explicitly force a carrier to waive their right to that transparency, to their codified statutory relief that they're supposed to have, thanks to the Motor Carrier Act of 1980. And now the Small Business and Transportation Coalition has, for the second time, requested to Administrator Derek Bars to suspend or revoke the broker authority for One Total Quality Logistics. Now, this does stem back to the Pink Cheetah incident that took place and some of the famous requests for transparency that have flown across TQL's desk over the last few years. However, the SBTC has very famously been attacking TQL and other three-letter brokers with regard to this. Again, this is the second time that SBTC has requested that Derek Bars step in and revoke their authority. Should be interesting to see what kind of discussion that generates.
Yeah. With this, what's the reality with freight if TQL is shut down though? Like that's a lot of brokered loads. I mean,
Right.
I'm not sad. I wouldn't be sad. I mean, let's be honest. My distaste for TQL is very public. I'm not afraid to say it, but what do you think that looks like for the freight world? Views and opinions are my own. They are my own.
I would venture to think that one, I don't see this going anywhere. It's certainly not anytime soon. Secondly, if that were to happen, if by some miracle the largest freight brokerage in the country is suddenly shut down overnight, there is going to be a reckoning like no tomorrow. It is going among the broker community. It's probably going to be something like the purge as we all climb over each other to try to acquire some new business. It should be interesting. Now, the only other question I would have is what's going to happen on the shipper side, because the shippers are used to getting the cheap rates that TQL offers, and those rates are not going to be available anymore. So there's going to be a trickle effect that is going to cause all different kinds of issues across the freight industry for sure, if that were to ever happen.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to get into all the regulatory weeds without making me read federal code, or like John does for fun, head over to kissthismedia.com. And
question for you, John.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Does a contract supersede law?
Okay. Again, let me throw the disclaimer up real quick. Usually federal law cannot be preempted by a contract. However, the reason why brokerages like TQL can get away with it at this point is that nobody has challenged anyone in a court of law regarding this particular statute as of yet. Therefore, no precedent has been set to allow one way or another for this to take place. Again, with carriers not having a lot of money, no one's willing to go to bat against somebody like TQL, who has some 500 lawyers on staff.
Their pockets are deeper than mine.
Well, I think they are the largest employer in Ohio. And therefore also have the Ohio courts in their pocket, and their contract explicitly says that any lawsuits brought against it are to be brought against it in Ohio. Therefore, have fun taking TQL to court in Ohio. I don't think you're going to win.
Carriers, I cannot stress this enough. Read your contracts, redline them before you send them back. If there's something in there you can't live with, don't sign it. If they won't accept your red lines, don't sign it. Don't run it. We'll get into this a little bit further here in a little bit, but I want to be very clear. As a carrier, I work with TQL. There's good agents there.
Sure.
There's a bunch of them that will call me up and they're like, "Hey, do you have a reefer?" Dude, specialized. I don't have reefers. Do a little bit of research.
But a 22-year-old post-college graduate thinks
Exactly.
a reefer is specialized.
Fair point. But there are good agents out there. So a lot of that is you've got to find the right folks to work with, and don't be afraid to redline a contract. Don't be afraid of really reading this thing. Don't just accept the highway invitation and sign off on it. Print that son of a gun off. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Have your lawyers look at it. If you don't have a lawyer, find one. Find a contract lawyer. Have them go through it. And write out anything in there that's detrimental to you, because I guarantee you that contract is not written for your benefit. It's written for theirs.
Always.
And if you don't like it, if you can't come to agreement on it, there's not a load worth your company.
Mike Weber says it would be like any of us going after Walmart for false advertising. Good luck. Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Yes. Which is shitty though, because TQL has some questionable practices. And the fact that they just have enough lawyers to get out of things, I don't know. Whatever.
More lawyers than God.
Yeah. Well, that actually gets us into today's bigger conversation, because whether it's weather, a breakdown, a missed appointment, a customer changing something at the last second, problems happen. TQL is a big problem. Sorry, mother. I understand there are good ones, okay? I get it. There are a few, but there are far less good or people who have the ability to work ethically and the way that they should, because they don't have maybe they have a lack of training, whatever. Anyway, I could go on and on and on for TQL. Anyway.
No. You go on? You're going to take over me as the person who talks the most in an hour.
No way. Well, you know what? You made me get up too fucking early, okay? I got to wake myself up. Let's see. I'm interested in why people involved sometimes make the problem 10 times more stressful than it ever needed to be. Let's see. So let's get into today. I don't want to spend the next 15 minutes telling everybody communication is important, because no shit, we all know that. But I want to know, why do perfectly competent adults in freight suddenly become terrible communicators the second something goes wrong? It's accurate, right? It's accurate.
Well, I mean, okay, look, we all process stress differently. It's one of the good things about being married to a mental health specialist. We all react in the old fight, flight, or freeze mentality. Okay. And in a lot of situations, when things go wrong in freight, most of us immediately go to fight, because that's the way we're wired when we're in the freight industry. You have drivers sitting there saying, "Broker, you're disrespecting me." We have shippers sitting there saying, "Dude, keep your pants on. We'll load you when we get to you." We have the brokers sitting there screaming in the middle saying, so there's all different kinds. I hope no one got a still of that. That would have been funny. Oh my gosh, are you more of an asshole Monday morning? Okay, look, I'm more of an asshole on Monday morning. Absolutely, without a doubt. Because Friday, I don't give a shit. Friday, I am fresh out of fucks to give. Okay, so Monday, though, you better believe I'm going to come after you a little bit.
I'm just too tired in the morning right away to even deal with it usually. So I get to be an asshole about like maybe 2 hours after I wake up, when everybody starts annoying me. Or
we
right
haven't
now.
annoyed you yet?
I mean, or right now. My 4:45 a.m. alarm annoyed me.
Let's see. Kevin sitting there running as if the numbers.
No, I'm beyond that right now. I'm doing some research. I wanted to make sure that I was right on something.
That it was snowing in Hawaii? Did you confirm?
No, I've already verified that. You can Google, you can find it. It's open source
I'm going to
information.
verify you're verifying.
No, what from the carrier side of this, when something goes wrong, it's always, and I say always, paint with a broad brush. It's always the yeah. No, I just wanted to pull some links in case anybody said it's
Thanks,
like go
Mother.
here, go here, go here. Anyway, it's generally the carrier's fault, regardless of whether it is or not. Just like in an accident, it's generally the truck's fault, regardless of whether it is or not. You're guilty until proven innocent. So when you have something go wrong, something go sideways, the immediate reaction, the knee jerk for everybody is it's the carrier's fault. Not always the case, but that's always the immediate reaction. So I think a lot of that stems from carriers getting tired of being blamed for stuff that is outside of their control. They're like, well, the hell with them. We'll just, it'll get there when it gets there. And if you don't like that, deal with it. Not necessarily the right way to say it, but it's what happens.
Well, I mean, this goes back to the post-Montgomery mentality. I'm sorry, Shimmy. I didn't mean to cut you off. Please.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
It goes back to the post-Montgomery mentality. Okay, the brokers are frustrated because they're in a no-win situation now. The carrier starts groaning and complaining and accusing the broker of all different kinds of things. Well, we got to be careful about how we respond. What people in this industry really need to focus on is the same thing that law enforcement needs to keep in mind: is de-escalation. De-escalate. Calm the situation down. Don't let it get out of control. I understand when you have a driver who sits there and says, "You mother, you're disrespecting the crap out of me." I get it. Breathe for a second. How do we work on this together? The problem is that you have too many of these 22-year-old brokers that are out there who are like, "Oh yeah, come on, I got something to prove too. Come on, you go ahead, step to me. I'm gonna break your ass."
I have some fun email chains with where I'm fixing problems for other brokers like that, and they don't like it, and pretty fun.
Look, guys, breathe, please, for the love of God. Breathe.
Well, and everybody gets defensive. Like, why is everybody getting so defensive? Like, just breathe for a minute, and then
because it's not my fault. Don't come at me. It's not my fault.
Or how about people just don't go at everybody and you figure out what the fucking solution is before you deal with that part? Because, like, as a broker, one of the things that I tell every single carrier rep that I ever talk to for the first time is, I don't want to hear your bullshit. I don't want to hear lies. I don't care if I don't want you to soften things. It's my job to take the information that you give me, whether it's bad or good or in between, and decide what I'm going to do with that information with my customer. I need to make a decision, and I need to have the communication with them so that way we all know what's going on. If you want to have an argument about who did what, when, where, why, we'll surely go ahead and do that if you'd like, but let's just fix the problem first or figure out a solution for all of us. Like, let's not have you sitting there throwing a fucking hissy fit. Let's get you going, or, whatever it may be, and then we'll figure it out. Like, I can't.
I'm going to come to your
defense. I'm going to come to your defense, carriers. Okay. Yes, carriers get the shit under the stick every time, as Kevin has mentioned. Okay, that is ingrained into all this. But brokers have bad days too, and brokers can react poorly too. Okay, so if you are a carrier or a dispatcher, don't be afraid to step back and say, "Hey, look, give me 2 minutes. Let me think about what we're going to do here, and then I'll call you back with a solution." Okay, just go ahead, go get yourself a coffee. We'll figure it out. I'll call you back, and hang up the phone.
I would like my own disclaimer to say that not all brokers put drivers as the fault of everything. I don't do that, and actually, I will argue with customers, receivers, whoever, if I know a carrier is in the right and it's an issue with somebody else. I will defend the carrier just as much as I will my customer. There are a lot of good brokers, so disclaimer on that.
There are.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of good carriers, but everybody has bad days.
Everybody.
Yes. But it doesn't mean you sit there and you slaughter them like throwing a freight guard against them just because somebody's having a bad day. This is freight. Stuff happens all the damn time here. You know, what drives me insane is how people think it's always going to be perfect, especially shippers. The young shippers, the fresh out of college logistics managers, they just don't get it. They just don't know, and they make impossible demands. And
Or
then you,
even-
as a broker, Jimmy, you're stuck having to try to manage that mentality.
And then you have to deal with trying to educate them in a soft way so they don't then get offended, right? Because they feel like you're condescending or whatever, but you're not. You're just trying to educate them. I mean, I literally am working with a customer right now where the shipper seems to be very uneducated, and that's what I told her the other day. We had some issues with the shipper and then also with the receiver, but I said, hey, yes, it sucks right now, but when she's not so inundated, we're just going to have some educating time, and then we're going to move on because we'll get it handled, we'll get it figured out. But that's it. It's just, I understand that she's just not educated on the rest of the process. Some of them are never exposed to what the rest of us do or the other part of the movement. They only see theirs. So I get it when they don't actually have a true understanding. It doesn't help anyone.
Well, I remember for my time in retail distribution, I worked for Pier 1. I worked for Pier 1, and we had a dedicated carrier who maintained a terminal at our facility. And I would do the routing because I was in charge of shipping. I would do all the routing for all the trucks for the next day, and I would just hand that off. And I'd never have to think about how it got done or anything like that. It's just they had to deliver because the first drop had to be before 6 a.m. because the different shopping centers around the country, they have their rules and all that. So you can't take deliveries after 6 a.m. in some places. So I had to factor all that into my routings. I never had to think about it. So I did not learn until much later that all these things mattered, particularly whether it's to a direct shipper to carrier relationship or dealing with a broker. I had no idea that a lot of this stuff mattered until I got a little bit of time under my belt in it. It's just education and experience, guys. It really is. You have to breathe and understand what the heck's happening around you. It takes time.
But everybody is so weird when it comes to this stuff because instead of going back and go, oh yeah, I maybe don't know what I'm talking about, and not in a bad way, right? Like there's a lot of times when I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but you have to be.
Sorry, you open yourself right up.
More than anything,
take the shot.
More than anything, I'm very impressed with that one, John. It was so off the tongue. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And fuck you.
The difference, though, the difference there, Shimmy, though, is that you actually you recognize your own ignorance and you take steps to cure that ignorance. It's not a habitual. You're making the same mistake tomorrow that you made today because you didn't learn from it.
Exactly.
And that goes for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are fucking perfect, but
no,
you don't have to just
speak for yourself.
Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble
when you're perfect in every way.
Is this an old man song? I don't know what's happening.
I'll send you the Spotify link, Shimmy.
Oh my gosh! Everyone is now looking this up across the internet. Right
oh my God. I did confirm. You were correct, Kevin, by the way. I did confirm it did snow in Hawaii. You were right.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Julie Lawson says, I refer to the Carmack regularly. Yes, I think we all.
Oh my God.
Our Bible.
But you know how many, but again, just like the TQL story from earlier, how many brokers sit there and try to overwrite the Carmack amendment in their own agreements in order to bypass some of the requirements that are in there. Again, it goes right back to read your contract.
I think that comes down to another good point of not educated, because there's a lot of brokers that think that just because they put something on a piece of paper, that makes it automatically doesn't mean
it's enforceable.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, I'm
you
having a stroke.
How do you really feel?
I'm having a stroke.
I know, Mike. John is 80 million years old, right?
No. I'm only 5 million years old.
What were the
Okay,
dinosaurs like?
you got to look at Jeff Dickinson. He's 6 million. He helped to build the the pyramids. Okay, so I only assisted him. He was at it before I was. So
when they said
Mike,
it's written in stone, John was the one with a chisel and a hammer.
Yeah, and he was doing it like this.
That was my first contract. What was knocking it out like that? Yes. Where were we? I don't
know why
anybody listens to
derailed conversation. Carmack. Yeah, no. I'm thinking of all the damn times that I was handed a contract by somebody who asked for my help. And the contract was so unbelievably skewed against them, whether it's a carrier or a broker, etc. The contract is so clearly skewed against them and violates every tenet of federal law that I can possibly imagine. And I'm thinking to myself, why in God's name did you fucking sign this? You know what? Could you possibly not know this is in no way enforceable? But again, I'm going to have another.
Stroking out, people. He's stroking out.
I'm stroking out. Thank you.
A little bit.
I can't move the side of my fist anymore. Sorry.
Not fun, but kind of funny.
It's Monday, folks. Thank you.
All day long.
Remind me after this that I have a really morbid thing to tell you about that. Okay.
Oh, dear God. Oh,
I can't.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, let's see. What else are we? Okay, we were talking about just shit. People just a shit show. Monday's a shit show. Communication is a shit show. Let's see. Well,
in a perfect world, you can, if we actually talk to each other, we can actually solve all the world's problems if we actually discuss it. I mean, it's like carriers. First off, if you're going to be late, say something. Don't just sit there and go silent thinking, oh, maybe they won't notice. Wrong. Okay. If the broker has to take the load away from you because you're going to be late, so what? Give them notice so they can go ahead and recover their load. They will actually respect you for giving them the notice. Yeah, you're going to lose the load. You'll find something else. Okay. Just freaking talk.
I can work with bad news. You can't recover time that nobody told me we were losing, though. So
if you give someone an update before it becomes critical, it's a reason. If you give someone an update after it's become critical, all you have is a damned excuse.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Did you just make that up?
No, I tell my guys that all the time. If you tell me something's going on beforehand and I can plan for it, we have a reason for what's going on.
Morning,
if
Jamie.
you tell me something's happened after it's already happened and we're already late, we're already on the side, whatever the case may be, and now we're behind the 8 ball, now we've got the damn excuse. There's a whole lot of PR that's involved in trucking, and that goes from the carrier to the broker to the customer. So it's you've got to manage that all the way up. And I say that really not trying to be like condescending or anything like that, but that's a lot of what it is you've got to communicate what's going on with your customers, and you've got to do it as quickly as it happens. You've got to give them a chance to redirect, to make a plan, to whatever the case may be. From a carrier standpoint, I know if I've got guys that working for me and, hey, boss, my alarm didn't go off this morning, I'm going to be late. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. I can work with that. Versus me sitting there at 7:30 when you were supposed to be here at 6 a.m. And where the hell are you, dude? You know, one's a reason before the fact, the other's a damned excuse after the fact. Mm-hmm. And that goes all the way up.
Do you think that the reason people are like that is fear? I mean, because in every aspect, I mean, you'll say it. So everybody right now, especially in this environment, is I think afraid of pissing somebody off or losing business because nobody can afford to lose business.
I'll agree with that, but I think it goes even further than that. Look at your daughter. If your daughter gets in trouble, okay, look at any kid, right? But any child, if a child gets in trouble, their immediate reaction is not necessarily to own it; it's to try and figure out how to get out of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's accurate.
We've got the same mentality as human beings, not just as adults, but as human beings, regardless of your age. You don't want to get yelled at. You don't want to get in trouble. So
you don't want to disappoint.
Getting in trouble. Exactly.
That's my biggest problem. I can name it. I do not like to disappoint people. Good morning, Jeff.
You lie to them.
Arrived.
Well, yeah, I said his name 3 times. He's like Beetlejuice.
He's like a genie.
Well, I said his name 3 times. He's like Beetlejuice.
Jeff Dickinson. Who else? Oh,
she gets that reference, Kevin. She gets that reference.
Channing Tatum. It's not working.
Oh, you don't want Channing Tatum.
Speak for yourself.
You don't want that.
Okay. Anywho. I'm just a girl. Oh. What point does failing to communicate the problem become a bigger failure than whatever originally happened? Well, immediately. That's what.
You don't communicate the problem immediately when it happens.
Yep.
Without a doubt. I mean, there's so many things. Talented people can work through issues. We can figure this stuff out, but we need the time to be able to do it. No one has got a plan in their back pocket all immediately.
I'm going to give you a question where I think that there'd be a lot of people on the fence on this. Ready?
Hit me.
Okay. Did tracking fix communication or make us crazier? Because we were sold as that tracking is the thing that was finally going to stop everybody from asking, where's my truck? Blah, 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 right?
Brokers, you need internal communication.
Still cannot do without. Yep.
Yes.
You have a track and trace team, you have an accounting team, you have a sales team, you have all these teams. Y'all need to be cross communicating. There needs to be, I don't know, maybe a central dashboard from a system that you all use where you can see the updates. I mean, there's Trucker Tools, there's Macro Point, there's all that other fun stuff. I've got mine set up to where my GPS automatically integrates to it. So it will go in and link with your load number, and you have access now in my portal that you can see exactly where the truck that's on your load is, tied directly to the GPS. You don't have to worry about a driver turning tracking off. It's tied to the truck's GPS. I still get calls. calls.
The problem
3 days later, hey, can you give us an update on this? Y'all already have the invoice.
I've consulted for enough brokers and seen enough of their systems that I think I've cracked the code on what the biggest problem is. You know, the ops guys don't like to sit there and call and make updates all the time. Track and trace, they really don't want to have to call and make updates all the time. It's AI. There are a lot of brokers out there that are utilizing a variety of different forms of AI as part of their brokerages. And one of those includes outbound calls to drivers for status updates. So whether or not they're utilizing the tracking, they're still getting this call 2, 3, 4, 20 times a day from an automated system to sit there and say, hey, please update your current location. And all the driver wants to say at that point is go fuck yourself. That's where I am. I'm in I don't give a fuck anymore location. And they get really tired of it. I can't blame them. I really can't. But at the same token, AI, we rely on it so damn much for so many things, it becomes intrusive. And I believe that's one of the situations where it's too intrusive.
I actually won't give my driver numbers out. I refuse to.
Interesting.
Most of the brokerages I work with require the driver numbers, which I don't think is beyond the pale.
When I'm oversized, overweight, the last thing I want is my driver having to worry about his phone ringing with somebody sitting in an office saying, "Hey, where are you at?" I'm sitting in fucking traffic in downtown DFW.
Now,
Yeah.
I can respect that. I can respect that. I really can. Again, I don't like having to call drivers. I don't like having to deal with drivers when I've got an issue I'm investigating. I really can't stand it because one, they don't talk to you or what have you.
Amen.
But the same situation is there. If you're calling a driver, they are probably on the road. Do you really want to distract them with your cargo on their back? No. I'd much rather talk to a dispatcher because usually a dispatcher has all the information I need.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, especially if you like, yes, like Boris said, if they're trusted, like I don't have to talk to all of the drivers because for my carriers, we've used them for so long and we have trust, and I don't need to talk to all of the drivers.
Well, Jeff, like Jeff said, be careful reaching directly out to drivers. No, you're exactly right.
Do you think that? I was trying to read all of the comments at the same time, and also my cat is right here, and I kind of want to push him, but I also he's gonna walk in front of the camera. So. No. Tracking. Yeah, well, tracking also, so I think a lot of people like on a broker side, I can see where you're at, but that doesn't mean that, I know that you've actually contacted, because a lot of the drivers need to contact the receiver. So it doesn't mean that I know that you've done that. So, how do we have that? The tracking links can't tell us that. You know what I do? I don't put that on a lot of the drivers. I do it myself. I will contact both the shippers and the receivers. I will relay the information to the carrier. So that way it's less work on them and they're not sitting there having to do it while they're driving. I will do that myself to try to help eliminate that as much as possible. I don't know what a lot
Amy
of other
would
people
agree
do,
with
but
me. That is the dispatcher's job. And, I know when I was dispatching, you better believe I was making all the contacts with the shippers and the receivers constantly because that's what kept most things going and going smoothly. But again, I would much appreciate if a broker called me as the dispatcher than calling the driver, because I actually have all the information. I have everything they could possibly need. And a good dispatcher is going to stay on top of that. The problem is there's far too many real crappy dispatchers out there. Sorry, drivers. I know they're out there and I know it's difficult finding them.
It's not Amy. It's not Amy.
Amy is not one of the bad ones, not by any stretch of the imagination. She is an awesome one if you can ever get on her crew.
Most brokers don't want the drivers calling the customer. I've seen that. What we were talking here the other day, you said, a driver calls a customer because he's trying to verify where he's going, what time he's supposed to be there, whatever the case may be. And the broker gets mad and says, well, you back solicited. No, I didn't. I'm just trying to figure out the right way to deliver your shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the drivers they're irritable, they're whatever. A lot of people will say, oh, they were an asshole. No, they're probably just fucking tired. They're also probably trying to figure out where the hell they're going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeff says, go to dispatchers instead. You don't want to get into employment status problems. What happens if the driver tells you something you don't like? You can't tell them nothing. That's how I imagine he said that. You can't tell them nothing. And then he went like this.
That's probably accurate. And knowing Jeff, that's probably accurate, but that's okay. Yes, amazing mustache. Amazing. He recently shaved that. I hate to report, but it's probably grown back by now, maybe. We'll see.
Some of those drastic
I'm sure I'll see
changes,
him on Thursday.
It's like when he did it or like when Dooner did it. Like, it's just so drastic. You're like shock and awe.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Dooner. Oh my God.
When he did it, I did.
When he shaved.
No, that was wild. That was a whole. He could have gone into hiding, like in plain sight.
Hey, Dooner, anyway. We like you. Yes. We love you too, Jeff.
They might end up saying how much you paying these guys anyway. Yeah, they always do that stuff. Luckily I like that my customers, they'll be like, hey, this other broker came in, by the way, and they'll tell me,
Or this
they'll be
carrier
like,
asked how
hey,
much
this
you're paying.
carrier called. Yep. Hey, this carrier.
I think that's what Jamie's saying. When he comes up, he says they might end up saying how much you paying these guys anyway. I mean, I've been out there with other drivers on the same project, and they're like, well, how much are you getting? Drivers talk. Right. I look at them and I say, I got what I asked for. I'm happy with what we're making on this. And odds are I probably got more than they did, but I'm not telling them that.
Agreed.
But at the end of the day, if I negotiate a rate as a carrier with a broker, I don't care how much the broker's making. If I tell you it's going to be $10,000 for me to do it and you agree with that number, I don't care if you're charging the customer 50. It's none of my business. I got the 10 that I wanted. After that, doesn't matter.
Okay, I got one more question and then we're moving on. If you had to have one rule, if you were going to implement one communication rule for the entire freight industry, what would it be? And if you can't answer it, it's fine because I have one ready.
Let's hear yours.
If you know the plan changed, the person relying on the original plan gets told before they have to ask.
I wholeheartely agree with that.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly agree with it.
Because
this is trucking. We can't do that. That makes too much sense.
Common sense is really hard, and common sense is so necessary in this industry, and yet there's a lot of areas
not common.
Where it's not you.
It's just not common.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. We are moving on. Let's move. That's for me. The freight word of the day is exception. Today's word. Yes. In logistics, an exception is anything that causes the shipment to deviate from the original plan, a breakdown, a delay, a missed appointment, weather, damage, carrier sleeping, who knows? Basically anything that knocks the load off course. So in highly technical logistics language, something went wrong.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah. I would add to that an insurance aspect. Okay, and I think a lot of people miss this. An exception could also be, a form of cargo that you're not permitted to haul because of your policy.
Okay. Good job. Good. Thank you. And
put me on something, I show up to haul and it's got explosives. Hey, we've got an exception. I'm not insured to haul explosives. Y'all have a good day.
Exceptions happen every single day. The real problem is when everybody knows about the exception except the person who could have actually fucking fixed it. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. I got so many stories about that. I'm not going to go there today. We don't have enough time. We just don't have enough time.
Yeah, we're running a little bit short on that. But basically, it comes back down to communication. If there is an exception, if something changes, the first person to know there's a change needs to communicate that to all involved parties. So that everybody's on the same page. If everybody's on the same page, it becomes a blip.
Yes, it's not the dumpster fire that creates the problem. It's a surprise.
It becomes I-70 in Indiana that's washed out and can't nobody get across.
Yep. All right, now Kevin, give us your hot
still telling you to get across.
That's it. Hot load of the day today. We're going back to Houston. This one happened.
Of course, we're going
this
back
last
to Houston.
week.
Fucking Texas.
This one happened this last week.
Wow. Okay, I thank you, Mother.
I'm gonna say Kev didn't pick that.
No, I picked this right here. Houston Avenue, I-10. Here we go again. This happens a couple of times a week. I feel sorry for this bridge. I honestly do. I don't necessarily. Well, maybe I'm not feel sorry for the driver. It depends on how much of it's on him and how much of it's on his dispatch. That looks like a company truck. He's got an RGN, so he's got the right type of trailer. The bridge was just too short. John, what's the over and under on if he has a hot stick and he measured it?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I never did. I never did OD cargo. I never did OD cargo, so I'm really not sure.
What is it? Please
You're the expert.
Educate us.
I would bet that he didn't have a permit. Well, I don't know. He might have because he's a little bit wide. I would bet that he took measurements, fudged, and then got off route because I can almost assure you his permit tells him to go around I-610, not I-10. It could have been something as simple as I missed the exit, which right there is easy to do. But guys,
but I missed the exit is not a valid excuse.
When you miss the exit, you stop. I don't care if you're in the middle of the freaking road. Stop. Pop your brakes. Call your dispatch. If your dispatch happens to be me, I'm calling HPD saying, hey, we missed an exit. We've got to go back a quarter mile and get our exit. They're going to say, wow, what's wrong? Well, if we keep going, we're going to hit this bridge. The next words out of their mouth are, have you already hit it? Nope, we hadn't hit it yet. Oh, thank God. This thing shut down all eastbound lanes.
Dang.
It took them a while to reopen it. They had to take everything apart, get this thing off of there. Now we've got a busted trailer. We've got bridge damage. We've got a shipment that's not going to make it from where it's going to, or going from to where it needs to go. It's just a bad day all around. Trust me, you don't want to be involved in a situation like this. They're not fun. I cannot.
If you miss the exit, are you going to end up paying a fine or a penalty of some kind to Houston PD to block off a lane for you so you can safely back up to get to the exit?
No. They will be glad you called them. They will come shut down traffic so you can back up and make your exit. Hi, kitty. Sorry, I saw it there. I couldn't help it.
I read, Kevin, that bridge has been hit like over 70 times since 2025.
Yeah. Go do some research on the Houston Avenue Bridge. Yes, it happens almost weekly, if not multiple times a week.
So at what point what point do they go, okay, this is a fucking problem. How about we maybe just alter the bridge?
It's a railroad bridge.
Okay, I take it back.
There's a little bit more involved than that. I know there are plans to redo it. It just hasn't been done yet. $200 gets you a hot stick. If you've got an iPhone, go download En-route. It's like $70 a year. You can pin it out and it will give you GPS point-to-point turns. If you put it in right, you can follow your permit to a T.
That is not a paid sponsorship, Kevin.
This is not a paid sponsorship. This is what I use, and it works well.
I love it.
So.
And that bridge, I think, is a red flag, which brings us to John. John, what is your red flag for the day?
Well, today's red flag involves a woman in Georgia who ran a tax service, did a lot of taxes for particularly motor carriers. You know, when you go to pay your taxes, especially if you owe money, you usually write a check to your tax preparer who then holds it in trust and then sends it over to the IRS. Well, this wonderful woman, Diane Marie Poe, 62 of Loganville, Georgia, she did not do that. In fact, she would pocket that money and not pay the taxes. Therefore, she is now facing 32 counts of bank fraud, 14 counts of failure to account for pay over withholding, or to account for and pay over withholding and FICA taxes, 4 counts of failure to file corporate tax, 2 counts of making and subscribing subscribing false return, and 2 counts of federal program theft. If she is found guilty on all counts, she faces, I kid you not, over 1,000 years in federal prison. So if you think that you are a tax preparer and you've got a clever way to get over on somebody, watch the hell out. And that's because of the administration's laser focus on fraud, which does include a task force, including the IRS. So watch out there, folks. That is your red flag for today.
That's insane. Dang. You could kill somebody and have less time. That's wild. Don't do that. Don't do anything.
Oh, yeah. If it matters, the federal charges, there is no parole. Okay, so have fun with these guys. This lady is
now drivers and carriers. Now drivers and carriers have the IRS coming after them. So if any of them commit suicide because of the stress of it, Shimmy, she kind of did kill someone.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it.
That sounds like the laziest crime ever, Rob says.
Yes, but she made a mint doing it, and now she's going to pay for the rest of her life. So congratulations.
That's
Idiot.
it. That's
Oh.
All right, fellas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up towards the top of the hour. That is our show for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please make sure you go and visit our website, kissthismedia.com. You'll be able to see all the stories that we talked about today. Also, like and subscribe on all of our social media so you can catch us every time that we are live. For the whole KTM team, Shimmy, Kevin, myself, Mother in the background, thank you so much for seeing us, and we will see you again on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, do you even freight? See you then.
Later, losers. I'm going to get some coffee.